Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name's Jack. This is J2H Books. And buckle up, kids, because I think we're on for a long one. So for this video, I figured I'd take you through all the queer books still on my TBR. Now let me warn you, that's a lot. You know, my previous videos haven't been over 10 minutes. I think this one, we might make the 10-minute mark. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Because I buy a lot of queer books. I don't necessarily read a lot of queer books. Well, I do, but just not enough. And I'm a slow reader. So, I'm going to do it shelf by shelf. Oh, I've got a little bit of a sore throat. It's not COVID. Your boy turned 30 this week. He went out singing. He went out dancing. So, the throat's a little bit sore, but we roll on. We move on. And we're going to go shelf by shelf because otherwise one there will be empty. And I'm not going to explain what they're about. Mainly because I do not know. I'll tell you a little bit if I can, but I'm just maybe going to tell you how long I've had them, and because some of them have been a while. So, let's go. So first up, we have A Place Called Winter by Patrick Gale. Now, I read Patrick Gale's other book at the beginning of March, and I didn't like it. I threw it across the room. That's how you know I don't like a book. I got this. But this queer book has been on my shelf the longest. This is the longest one I own. So I should really read it. Maybe one day I'll come back to this video and see how many I've read. But I probably won't. But anyway. Yeah. Oh, I've just read the back. It doesn't even sound that good. But we're going to read it, okay? We will read it eventually. The Great Believers by Rebecca Mackay. Set in Chicago in 1984 and Paris in 2015. Oh, I didn't know that. I literally did not know that. The Great Believers is a story of how love can both rescue and destroy us. I know this is set in the 1980s in the AIDS pandemic. I do know that. And I know a lot of people actually really, really love this one. It is one I'd really like to get to. Oh, it's chunky. 515 pages. But I know a lot of people really do love this, and I really would like to get to this one soon. My Policeman. We'll know why I brought this. Soon to be made motion film, starring Harry Styles. What more do you need to know? I was set in Brighton. That's where I was for my birthday, in Brighton. So I've got a sore throat. A few years later, when Patrick meets Tom, Patrick is besotted with Tom. That's all I need to know. I've read a couple of queer stories this month, actually, that I haven't, loved. And I need the love to be something I feel, I haven't been getting that at the minute. So hopefully from this one, I'm going to get it. My Policeman by Bethan Roberts. Neil Bartlett, ready to catch him should he fall. I bought this in Gauge the Word when I went on a little shopping trip. Just for books. I literally went to London just to buy books. It's 3 AM in the city and the dark corner of the bar. Two lovers collide in the beginnings of a passionate and violent affair. I was enjoying that till it said violent. But it's one of the Serpent Tales classics, and I think Serpent Tales published some fantastic books. So, it's another one about the 80s AIDS crisis. I will get to this one at some point. Oh, I'll do this one now. To the Friend Who Did Not Save My Life by Herb Giebert. Again, Serpent's Tale, classics. But this is a memoir. This is a non-fiction memoir. I do know that. Serpent's Tale actually sent this to me. After being diagnosed with AIDS, he wrote this devastating, darkly humorous personal novel. Oh, maybe it is a novel. Maybe it's not non-fiction. This just shows how little I know about my stuff, doesn't it? This got sent to me from Sphere Books, The Wedding Heard Around the World. And this is the story of America's first gay marriage. Now, I think this will be... Look how dusty it is. I swear it's not there. This will be really interesting. On September 3rd, 1971, at the dawn of the modern gay movement, Michael McConnell and Jack... I'm not married. I wish. Jack Baker exchanged vows in the first legal same-sex wedding in the United States. I think that's a really important read. And it's short as well. I should be able to get this soon, but we all know I won't. Fighting Proud. by Stephen Bourne. The Untold Stories of the Gay Men Who Served in 2 World Wars. I love history. You know, I'm a bit of a sucker of history, so I think this will be really, really interesting. I've had this one for a really long time as well. I brought this on my first time I went to London on my own. In a astonishing new history of Britain, or wartime Britain, Stephen Bourne reveals the fascinations of the gay men who served in the armed forces at the home front and brings light to the great unheralded contribution they made to the war effort. Yeah, I want to read more about this stuff. I forgot I had that one really, so I'm pleased about that one. Tell Me I'm Worthless by Alison Rumford. A dark, unflinching, haunted house novel that takes readers from the well of the glittery Gothic up through Brighton's queer scene and out into the heart of modern-day trans experience. Well, I've another one in Brighton. Because I went there. Yeah, this is a recent purchase. And I've heard brilliant things about this. I'm really excited about this one, actually. Any more books I can read by trans authors, you know, that's a win in my book. Leading Men by Christopher Castellani. A glittering portrait found by Truman Capote. Literally since Tennessee Williams and his longtime lover, Frank Mello, meet the enigmatic Anya Bolgren, an aspiring Swedish actress. Again, historical fiction, I'm going to absolutely love this. Although I have heard mixed things. I did hear mixed things. Sometimes I think it's tricky to read queer novels when you have expectations for them or you want something from them and they don't always deliver it. Sometimes I want to read a classic great love story and they don't always give that. It's often mirrored in, not joy. So, not joy, that wasn't the right way to say that. Often mirrored in devastation and upsetting things, which I know life is, I'm queer and God knows I ain't got any joy, but yeah, I want some happy stories for a while. What Belongs to You by Garth Greenwale. I don't know much about this, apart from it gets a bit spicy, and sometimes I just want to read a bit spicy, On an unseasonably warm autumn day, an American teacher enters a public bathroom beneath Sophia's National Palace of Culture. There he meets a charismatic young hustler and pays him for sex. Well, I didn't know it was paying, but I did know it was spicy. But again, I've had this one a really long time. I've heard brilliant things about it. I've heard he's a brilliant writer, so I'm just going to get into it and I'll enjoy it. I know I'm going to enjoy it, so we'll go for it. Meet Cute Club by Jack Carbon. Listen. Jordan Collins doesn't need a man. What he needs is for his favourite author to release another one of her sexy supernatural novels and need more people to sign up for the romantic book club that he fears is slowly and steadily losing its steam. This is me. I don't need men. I need books. I'm joking. I bought this one from an independent queer bookshop and I heard it's cute. It's a bit steamy. Sometimes you just need to escape and this is what this is going to do. And it is the first of the series. The Sweet Rose, #1. I don't know when book 2 is coming out, but I'll probably buy it and I probably won't still have read this one, but that's the way it goes. Get Mark Harrell's book. It's me. Next up, Dancer from the Dance by Andrew Holleran. Again, this is another one I've had for a really long time. Look, you can see it's going a bit yellow and I haven't read it. Young, divinely beautiful and tired of living a lie, Anthony Malone trades life as a seemingly straight small-town liar for a disco-lit decadence of 1970s New York gay scene. God, I've got a lot of queer history books here that I did not know about, but we'll roll with it. Yeah, again, I think this one is, again, a bit steamy. I don't know, there's so many steamy books. Don't judge me, everyone. But we'll go for it. Vernon Point, Queen Sutherland, who takes them. Yeah, I don't know what to say about this one, because I don't know. Like I said, I don't know about these things. And I'm kind of spoiling them for myself, but it's fine. I'll do that for you guys. Vintage. The Swimming Pool Library by Alan Hollinghurst. Now, I did read, it's up there somewhere, The Line of Beauty by Alan Hollinghurst. Alan Hollinghurst. And I actually really enjoyed it. I didn't think I would, and I really enjoyed that one. Young gay William Beckwith spends his time and his trust fund idly cruising London for erotic counters. I'm giving you guys the wrong impression. I'm giving you all the wrong impression. Trust me, I can feel that. And it says something about me that I buy the steamy books, but I do not read the steamy books. Okay? When he saves the life of an elderly man in a public convenience and unlike you job opportunity. Oh, there you go. It's taking a bit of a turn. He's a lifesaver now. But again, it's a bit of a chunkster, but I would like to read it soon. Hopefully it won't be too long. But like I said, I loved his other one, so I do have high expectations for this one. One Last Stop by Casey McQuiston. This is a BookTube favourite. I literally don't need to tell you what this one's about. If you don't know, just look it up, you know. But I do know it's someone is stuck on a tube in a time travel thing. Not the tube, the subway. Oh, Britain. The subway. But Casey McQuiston, people love this author. Don't counsel me, but I'm not a massive fan of Red, White and Royal Blue. Red, White and Royal Blue. It's I do like it, but you know, I don't quite get the love for it. But I've heard this one is better, and they've got a new book coming out soon, so I need to catch up. Now the last two from my top shelf. Well, this is what, you know, I call this the top most my adult books. Is 100 Boyfriends by Brontes Purnell and Since I Laid My Burden Down by Brontes Purnell. And transgressive, foul-mouthed and wildly funny, 100 Boyfriends is a filthy, unforgettable, brutal, profound ode to queer love in its most messy variations. From one-night stands to recurring lovers. You guys, I'll get the wrong impression about me, but I swear. But, oh, I love this slut of a book. But I've heard great things about both these. When Deshaun hears of his uncle's death, his big city life in San Francisco is abruptly put on hold while he travels back to Alabama, hometown for his funeral. Well, that sounds very different, doesn't it? But I've heard they're both fantastic. This one's signed, I think. I bought this in foils. I think I bought them both in foils. And I love Cypher Press, an independent queer publisher. Have a check out their website because, you know, they're doing some good things. So yeah, that's it for the steamy bookshelves. Oh no, not steamy, adult. I can't believe I just said steamy. We'll roll on. So let's crack on with the next ones because, like I said, this is going to take a while. One, if the angle changed, I'm sorry. I, you know, had to stop. I'm a newbie. I'm not professional at this. Okay, so don't judge me. And now another thing I'm going to have to ask you to forgive me for. Because still on the TBR. 2, 3, 4. Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. Now, I did love the first one. I even have 2 editions of it. And I am going to get to these because I want to read them before the TV show comes out on April 22nd. But I am going to get to them. I promise. Hold me to this, okay? But I don't know what they're about after the first one. But I do know I've heard they get better and better as they go along. And they get more detailed about mental health, which is always a great thing to read about. So definitely excited for these ones. Here's to Us by Becky Albertelli and Adam Silver. Listen, I didn't like the first one that much. Well, I did like it until the ending. I don't want to read all that for that ending. I'm not going to spoil it in case you haven't read it. So when they were releasing this one, I thought, you know what? I've seen my friend cry about this one. I am going to read this, and the stage is set for true love. Ben's his first year of college, but he's feeling more stuck than ever. Arthur is back in New York, ready to take the theatre world by storm. So yeah, I want a better ending. If not, I shall throw this book. Loveless by Alice Oseman. George has never been in love, never kissed anyone, never even had a crush. But as a fanfic obsessed romantic, she's sure she'll find her person one day. I don't know much about this one. All I know is it has got some brilliant repping. I know people absolutely love this one. With terms thrown at her like asexual, aromantic. More books like this. More books that show every spectrum on the queer spectrum. But yeah, more ones like this. Is she desperate or has she been looking for the wrong thing all along? That's it. Journeys, man, journeys. Afterlife by Tanya Byrne. Not even death will tear them apart. Easy. Oh well. This New Year's Eve, Ash gets an invitation from the afterlife she can't decline. To join a clan of fierce girl reapers who take the souls of the city's dead to await their fate. I had absolutely no idea that was what this was. But I do believe it's set in Brighton, as we know. I don't live that far from Brighton, about an hour away. So, I should do a Brighton reading vlog. I am thinking of doing reading vlogs. I don't know if I should, because I don't do anything but work or read. And I don't live on my own, so I couldn't just film. And I literally read before I go to bed, and then I fall asleep in bed reading. So that's not going to be interesting to watch. So I'll think about it. If you want them, let me know. But probably don't. Thank you. Bye. Oh, anyway, this book. Yeah, I'll read it at some point. No, I could never. No, I can't even. Actually, I think that one's first. Yeah, that one's first. By Simon James Green. I've read 2 of Simon James Green's. I love them. My dear friend Jacob, a very queer book club, got them for these on Instagram. Got me signed editions. And I've heard great things. I am really going to, like I said, I really enjoyed his other books, so I am going to get to these. Noah and Harry have gone from friends to boyfriends. Oh, I just read the second one. I've just spoiled the first one. That's why I said I wasn't going to read them. Oh, but Noah's plans for romance are derailed when Harry kisses him at a party. Okay, so that was obvious. I didn't spoil them. I'll get to these, maybe, because I've run. No. Wonderland by Juno Dawson. What happens when you fall down the rabbit hole? I do believe this is a Alice in Wonderland retelling. And I've heard brilliant things about it, actually. I know somebody read it recently and they gave it 5 stars, which, you know, is always a thing. Alice Dodgson lives in a world of stifling privilege and high-end luxury, but none of it means anything where her own head plays tricks on reality. Well, trouble friend Bunny goes missing. Yeah, Wonderland, yeah. Am I a fan of retellings? I probably haven't read enough to say whether I am or not. So I have high hopes this one. It could start, you know, something for me. Let's do the next Simon James Green. You're the One That I Want by Simon James Green. Freddie is unremarkable, too unremarkable. In fact, his teachers and fellow students keep forgetting who he is. Oh. After embarrassed of Vernon and Jasper Perry, the gorgeous teen star of his mum's new show, Freddie decides to try something, saying yes to every opportunity. That's how Freddie ends up auditions for the High School Musical Grease. Grease, musicals, queer love. Perfect book. See, I'm reading these and I really don't know what they're about. It's terrible, isn't it? But the past life is never smooth and sometimes you have to get things wrong. Do you know what? Simon James Green writes such charismatic, fun characters and fun, lovable stories that even though, look, you know how most of these books are written, don't they? You're going to fall in love. But with Simon James Green, I always enjoyed the journey, and that's such an important part. They're so whimsical, and if you haven't read any Simon James Green, you're looking for some good YA, I would definitely recommend them. What Looks Like Love by Garth Gregory. When Ireland voted to let gay people get married, my stepdad hugged me and said, "Your turn next, Ben. Get yourself a boyfriend, make us proud." That's really sweet. I bought this, Gaze the Word, look, left the price on $8.99. Ben is 17, gay and happy most of the time. He's finished school and is on track to a great career. All this mess is falling in love. But the guy of his dreams is still in the closet. His pale soda is suddenly more interested in nights in than nights out. Don't underestimate nights in. I turned 30. I went out. Ooh. I don't know much about this one, but reading it, I'm interested. My 30th decoration just fails because I just keep talking about it. Can you believe that just happened? This video is a shambles. But I'm trying not to edit it because... So yeah, what's it called? What Love Looks Like. And then, Jay's Gay Agenda by Jason June. There's one thing Jay Collier knows for sure. He's statistically anomaly as the only out gay kid in a small rural Washington town. While all his friends can't stop talking about their heterosexual hookups and relationships, Jay can only dream of his own firsts. Compiling a romance to-do list of all the things he hopes to one day experience, his gay agenda. Now, I know some people found the main character in this really annoying. I do know that. But I think... and it has put me off, which is a shame, isn't it? But I still read this one. And I know Jason Jr.'s got another book coming out, which is Queer Mermaids. That's all I know. I'll probably end up reading that one first, to be honest, before this one. But I'm not, you know, it's not to get rid of. I will read this one. I don't really get rid of queer books unless I think they're terrible. Let's go. Now, my defense, some of these are pretty new. Like, some of these literally came in last week. Some of them have only just come out, you know, so don't judge me again. This is another one. The Sky Blues by Robbie Couch. Sky Baker may be openly gay, but in his small town, his small into town, making sure he's invisible has always been easier than being himself. Listen, there's nothing I love more than reading about any queer kid who grows to love themselves. It's one of the best things about being queer, when you grow to love yourself. And Sky Blues is the first book I read that so fully encapsulates the dynamics growing up queer during adolescence. I'm excited for this one. And they've got, Robbie Couch's got another book coming out. May the Blaine win, may the best Blaine win, something. And it's Legally Blonde inspired. Ugh, what more do you want? So, hopefully I get to this one before that one comes out. But I've got it pre-ordered, so I probably won't. Anyway. Can't Take That Away by Stephen Salvatore. Kerry Parker dreams of being a diva and bringing the house down with song. They hit every note, all the top pop and Broadway hits. They can hit the notes of every. But despite their talent, emotional scars from an incident with a homophobic classmate, and their grandmother's spiraling dementia can make it hard and harder to find the role. Oh, this one sounds sad, actually. Then Carrie meets Chris, a single guitarist who makes Carrie feel seen for the first time in their life. Well, that cheered it up, didn't it? Well, I was going to say I'll read this one before the next one comes out, but... And They Live by Stephen Salvatore. Budding Amanda Chase is hopeless romantic, but eager to find a fairy tale kind of love, but he's never let himself believe he deserves it. Sounds like me. Well, I can't draw, but... Grappling body dysmorphia that plagued his self-image through high school while trying to find his place at college and compete against his ex-best friend for an exclusive... Oh? I know both of these on my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram if you want. JTH Books. Plug. Don't they look nice together? I've got distracted. Yeah, I am excited to read these two. I follow Stephen on Instagram and Robbie, and I love them both. Like, I enjoy their Instagram, so I'm excited for these two. I really, really am. The Wicker King by Kay Ancram. August is missing from a Priory streak, and Jack is a golden boy on the varsity rugby team. Well, Jack golden boy, and then we got to rugby. The comparisons ended. But one, look at this stunning cover. Look at the sprayed edges. I've heard really, really brilliant things about this. I am really excited to read this one. I'm not going to keep reading that because it spoils it. So I'm just going to put that one down. Icebreaker by A.L. Graziday. 70-year-old Mickey James III is a college freshman, a brother of and a hockey. I've heard brilliant things about this one, actually. I could kiss him right now. God, I love reading queer romance. I know I'm not saying much, but I keep reading them for myself. They're fighting to be the best they can be on the earth. What happens when their rivalry melts into romance? Does that mean enemies to lovers? Does that mean rivals to lovers? That's just button that one up the TBR. I'm not going to lie to you all. Before We Disappear by Sean David Hutchinson. A true magician never falls in love. I got this for Christmas. Jack. So many queer books for Jack. I must be inspired in all these books. I know I'm not. That was a joke. Jack Nevin's clever trickery and moral flexibility make him the perfect assistant to the Enchantress, one of the most well-known stage magicians in turn of the 19th century Europe. Without Jack's steady supply of gold, stolen tricks, the Enchantress' fame would have burned out long ago. I'm just any book that's got my name I'm excited for. But I'm not that keen on magicians, actually. Do I know that going in? Yeah, I must have. But I am excited to read this one. I'll give any queer book a chance. I'm not going to lie. And it's a beautiful cover. Can we talk? Queer books and the covers, they're just a league above the rest. I'm sorry, but it's just true. Kiss and Tell by Adib Khorram. This is a pre-order. By the time this video goes up, which is next Monday, it will be out. But this arrived a month early, this pre-order. And I love Adib Khorram's writing, so, I could not be more excited. Hunter never expects to be in a boy band, let alone the kind whose exploits get splashed across tabloid covers. But now his band, Kiss and Tell, is on his first major American tour, and life in their limelight is harder and even more complicated than Hunter could have ever imagined. I love this. I'm going to love this. I just know I am. Boy bands. I love music. I love boy bands. K-pop. Oh, speaking of K-pop. Oh, no, that's not. The Golden Boys by Phil Stamper. This is a new one again, so, It's the summertime for New York. Gabriel, Reese, Sarah and Heath are best friends, bonded in their small rural town by their queerness, their good grades and their big dreams. Doesn't that just sound perfect? I'd love some queer friends. but I won't get the good grades bit. Oh, I think I own 3 of Phil Sanders' books now, and I haven't read any. But this is the newest one. This will be the first one I love because I love a good pair of sunglasses. So this will be the first one I read, I think. This is my latest edition, All That's Left in the World by Eric J. Brown. A friend recommended this to me. When Andrew stumbles upon Jamie's house, he's injured, starved, and has nothing left to lose. A deadly pathogen has killed off most of the world's population, including everyone both boys have ever loved. But if there's no word taught them anything, it's to be scared of what other desperate people will do. That sounds a bit brutal, doesn't it? But, again, isolated, falling in love. That's the thing, all these books are about falling in love, really, isn't it? Maybe there's a bit about finding themselves, but who knows? But I've heard great things about this one, actually, so I will get to it. Maybe I should watch this back and say, I'll get to them soon, and you're reading vlog with the ones I said that I'll get to soon. So I'm actually not lying, actually doing them. Indivisible by Daniel Aleman. Mateo Garcia and his younger sister Sophie have been taught to fear one word for as they can remember: deportation. The worry that their undocumented immigrant parents could be sent back to Mexico always lingers in the back of their minds, even though Ma and Pa have been in the United States for a long time. They have American-born children and they're hard workers and good neighbours. When Mateo returns from school one day to find that his parents have been taken by ICE, he realises that his family's worst nightmare has become reality. These two. These are different kind of queer books. They've got some serious things going on. This one sounds incredible. Like both a gripping harrowing story about an American tragedy and a moving of the... Oh. This one might have to be a get-you one soon too. It's a beautiful cover as well. I've lost the plot filming this, but we're going to carry on. The Henna Wars by Adi Garvia. And Honey and Issues Guide to Fake Dating. I've heard amazing things about both of these, actually. Look, we all love the fake dating trope. I wish I didn't, but I do love the fake dating trope. Honey and Issues can't tell anyone the truth about their relationship. Not their parents, not their best friends, no one. I want to think this is just something girls do, that it means nothing. But I'm 100% sure that the way she's looking at me is not the way friends look at each other. Give me the sapphic romance. Just give it all to me. I haven't got much sapphic romance. I've read the other 2 I've got, but I'm excited for these ones. Dark Rise by C.S. Paquette. I've heard mixed... I got this for Christmas. And it is the beginning of a series. I do believe it is the beginning of a series. The ancient world is of magic no more. Its heroes are dead. Its halls are in ruins. And its great battles, light and dark, are forgotten. Yeah, I've heard mixed things. I heard it's really good until the ending. But if it's the beginning of a series, it is going to have a bit of an ending, isn't it? So we can read the next one. The dark will rise. Who will fall? Who will stand? Does sound good, actually. These Violence by Lights by Micah Nima River. Oh, Speckled Edges. I didn't know I had that. This was gifted to me by a friend. When Paul enters university in the early 1970s Pittsburgh, it's with hopes of moving past the recent death of his father, sensitive, insecure, and incomprehensible of his grieving family, Paul feels isolated and alone. I've heard this is dark academia, which isn't really my thing, but I've heard brilliant things about this. I know I keep saying that about all the books, but people love books. What can I say? And I love people, and I love people that love books. Oh, we went on a tangent there, didn't we? But yeah, I've had this for a long time, but I will get to it soon. Oh, it's a beautiful cover as well. That happens to me a lot. Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. I don't need to tell you what this one's about. You all know what this one's about. I can't believe I've had it this long, and I still haven't read it. I'll read this one soon, he says, maybe. No, I will. Not probably. I will. All Boys Aren't Blue by George M. Johnson. This is one of the books that has been banned. We all know that's bullshit. I'm not here for it. And then it got banned and it made it onto the New York Times bestseller list. But I've heard this one is really... In this groundbreaking young adult memoir, prominent writer and LGBTQI+ activist George M. Johnson shares both glories and gut-wrenching memories of growing up black and queer in America. We all need to read more about both of these things. So I'm so excited for this one. I have a feeling it might make me cry. Be bold and brave and queer. Just get that as a tattoo. Meet Cute Diary by Emery Lee. I am really, really excited for this. I think it's going to be a really, really sweet love story. But I did hear the jewels, and I did hear the main character is a bit annoying. But also, I think when you're reading YA and you get annoyed that the characters are annoying, guess what? Teenagers are annoying. I was annoying as a teenager. You were annoying as a teenager. If you are a teenager, you're annoying. We were just annoying. I don't think you should hate queer books just because a character is annoying. Oh, felt good to get that off my chest. I Wish You All the Best by Mason Diva. I can't believe I actually haven't read this yet. It's just 3 words. I'm non-binary. That's all it takes to change everything. Yes, yes, yes. Give me more rep like this. Give me more books like this. When Bendy Becker comes out to their parents, they're thrown out of the house and forced to move in with her strange older sister Hannah and her husband. That sounds brutal. But I've heard brilliant things about this. Somebody on my Instagram absolutely loves this one. Between Real and Perfect by Ray Stovey. I bought this one in London. Dean Foster knows he's a trans guy. He's watched enough YouTube videos and done enough questions to be sure. But everyone at his high school thinks he's a lesbian, including his girlfriend Zoe and his theatre director who just cast him as a non-traditional Romeo. Now, so this sounds... Look, I'm buying this. I think I want to transition. I just have to come out first. I don't know how. Now, I was warned that the rep isn't great in this, but I am so excited to read it. I think it might, well, I can't disagree, I haven't read it, but, you know, there's no one way to be trans, so maybe some trans people will like the rep. I don't know. I have to read it before I really comment on it, but I'm looking forward to getting to that one. Authors twice on this list. The Ghost We Keep by Mason Diva. Everything happens for a reason. At least that's what everyone keeps telling Liam Cooper after his older brother Ethan is suddenly killed in a hit-and-run accident. That sounds brutal. I don't know if this has a romantic love story in, but I know somebody on Instagram said it really made them cry, which, so we all know that's going to make me cry, isn't it? Let's be honest. But I might have to save this one for when I think I can handle it, which I know is a bit sad, but, you know, it's got to be. All the books just fell. Did you hear that? They landed on my leg. These are hardbacks. Tonight, oh, still going. Tonight We Rule the World by Zach Smedley. I got this for Christmas. In the beginning, Owen's story was blank. Then he was befriended by Lily, an inspiring author helping him find his voice. Together, the two have spent years negotiating first love and amassing an inseparable friend group. Oh. That he was sexually assaulted by a classmate. Yeah. I've heard it's good, but that sounds heavy. We have to read heavy books, I know, but if it shines a light on things and it shines it well and it helps people, then let's go for it. A Sitting in St. James, Rita Wilson Garcia. Now, I heard this is queer historical fiction, and we've discovered that I love that by this video. Don't read it, but I love it. 1860 Louisiana. After serving as the mistress of Le Pete Cottage for more than 6 decades, Madame Sylvie Gilbert has decided, in spite of her family's indifference, to sit for a portrait, a testament to all the hardships she's overcome and the glory of that life. Oh my god, this sounds brilliant. I'm obsessed. I'm going to read this one soon, he says. It didn't sound queer though, did it? But it must be, as I wouldn't have it on the queer shelf. Like a Love Story by Abdi Naziman. I've had this one a long time. I do know I've had this one a long time. It's 1989 in New York City, and for 3 teens the world is changing. It is another AIDS book. So it turns out I buy a lot of books like this, but I don't read them. But I know some people this one really makes cry, and some people have found it a bit lacking in subtlety, and it, you know, I feel it's a bit heavy-handed, but If you've seen the other videos from me, you know which one I will fall into. I will fall into the cry category. It's just the way it goes. Here We Go From Here by Lucas Roca. Enrique's just has had HIV for 3 years. Ian has just tested positive. Victor got with Enrique last night and thinks he might have it. Well, here we go again. But this was sent to me by David Fickling Books. And I haven't read it yet, which is terrible. And that's something I hate. Oh, it's got mixed media in. And no number. Also, it must be sitting about to, but anyway. Brazilian author Luca unveils the common misconceptions and prejudices that still surround HIV in the 21st century. Oh, there we go. It's setting out, you know, present times. And show how far we've come while shining a light on just how far we have yet to go. That sounds brilliant, actually. You know, a modern day story with it. I think that's brilliant. Oh, another Zach Smedley book, Deposing Nathan. When I bought this, and I said on Instagram that I brought it, everyone went nuts for this book. Everyone was like, "You can love this. It's going to make you cry." They know me too. So I wonder what he thinks about that night. I wonder if he regrets it the way I do. I do want to get to this one soon as well. I know I keep saying that. Don't be mad at me. This one I don't want to get to. Darius the Great Deserves Better by Adib Khorram. When I say I don't want to get to it, I do want to get to it. I loved Darius the Great Is Not Okay so much. And it's not that I'm worried this one I won't love as much. I've heard it's just as good. I just don't want it to end. I don't want the duology to end. And I want to save this one for when I need it, for when I really need it. So, something just told me battery as well. We ignore that. Yeah, I want to save this one for when I really feel like, you know, when you just, maybe in a bit of a slump, or you just know your heart needs a book. I am saving this one, so I probably won't get this one soon. I think that's the first time I said that, but this one's being saved for something special. From the next shelf down, can you see? The shelves are getting so empty behind me. That just shows how many I own but haven't read. We all know about this book, Detransition Baby by Tory Peters. Reese nearly had it all. A loving relationship with Amy, an apartment in New York, a job she didn't hate. She scraped together a life previous generations trans women could not only dream of. The only thing they were missing was a child. Then everything fell apart, and 3 years on, Reese is still in self-destruct mode, avoiding her loneliness by sleeping with married men. I'm not going to lie, I didn't know it was about that. A uniquely trans take on love and motherhood and those exes who you just can't quit. Now, this does sound phenomenal. I know so many people have really, really loved this book. I just need to pull my act together and read it, which is my life's motto for now that I'm 30. Pull my act together. Memorial by Brian Washington. Brian and Mike are two young guys who have been together for a few years, good years, but now they're not sure why they're still a couple. There's the sex, sure, and the meals Mike cooks for Benson. Did I say Benson earlier? I don't feel like I might have said Brian. I meant Benson. And well, they love each other, but when Mike finds out his estranged father is dying in Osaka, just as his... I'm not going to read the whole thing. I didn't really... Oh yeah, I know I didn't know it was about that. This one I've heard mixed reviews of, actually. Some people find that it doesn't quite go anywhere. Maybe it's a bit, not quite enough plot, but I'm excited to read it, actually. It hasn't for once put me off. Has he got any other books? Have I read another book by him? Oh, Lot. I own that somewhere. I don't know where that is, though. So I've got 2 of his books to read, which, not a surprise, is it? Bestiary by Kaiming Chang. This was, well, look at the cover. It's absolutely stunning. It was a bit of a cover. Well, I picked it up in my local Waterstones because of the cover. And then I saw that it was queer. One evening, mother tells daughter a story about a tiger spirit who lived in a woman's body. All the while, daughter is falling for Ben, a neighbourhood girl who is more bird than tiger and has mysterious... So too long to translate the grandmother's letters. Yeah, I absolutely love this. I did see someone talk about it recently and they didn't love it. I can't think who that was, but I don't love this cover. And look, on the back as well. But I'm excited for this one. Now we're going to go into some queer non-fiction that I still haven't read, even though I am reading more. He says, We Can Do Better. 35 Voices on the Future of LGBTQ plus Rights. Edited by Amelia Abraham. Moving from the UK and USA to Russia, Bangladesh and beyond. This is a guide to understanding the crucial issues facing the LGBTQ plus people today. This sounds important. I know it's going to be important. You know, this community has come so far. We still have so far to go, especially for the minorities in this community. And by people writing in books like this and you buying books like this, that you help support them, it's all a tiny, tiny step. I know it's only a tiny step, but it's a step in the right direction. This is How We Fight for Our Lives by Sadie Jones. Haunted and Hunting, How We Fight for Our Lives is a stunning coming-of-age memoir. Jones tells the story of a young black gay man from the South as he fights to carve out a place for himself. Much like that other book we spoke about, which is here, and I can't remember the name of it. All the Boys Are Blue. Important. You learn from reading people's experiences. You learn, you become more empathetic. The more you know, the more you share. Eat Gay Love by Callum McSwiggan. I follow Callum on Instagram. And he's got, I think in 2023, a fiction book coming out. Unsure of what to do next, he leaves the hometown he has known all his life to take up a teaching English in Italy. I think this might be my next, because I've had it for a long time as well. Oh, look, and I signed up to this pre-incentive. That's my Jason. I signed, and he wrote a little letter for his signature, I think. I think this is going to be my next non-fiction book for April. I read one for March. So I think this is going to be my April one because I've had it a long time and I want to read it. Watch me. Don't come for me if I do an April wrap-up and this isn't in there. Gay Bar, Why We Went Out by Jeremy Atherton Lynn. I'm not going to read that because that was a bit saucy. But this, I do know that this is about queer places and how important queer places are in the whole queer community and individual. You know, people meet their partners there, or people meet their friends there, and you know, it used to be a big deal to go to your club for the first time or your bar for the first time and feel welcome, and I think this is all about that. And you know, queer history, I'm always willing to learn more about queer history. It's something that really fascinates me, and I always say I'm going to read more of it, and I never ever do. I did this month, but you'll see that in the wrap up. Look at this chunkster. What colour pink though? Oh, what a lovely century. One man's marvellous adventures in love, war and high society. Roderick Fenwick Owen. Now I do know, if I'm correct, this was published after his death. He's dead, I do believe. History, high society, travel and sex all feature at the heart of this enthralling autobiography from a prolific writer who surely experienced more of the 20th century's events and places than anyone else. Oh. At the heart of Roderick's writing, adventures lay his search for love, even if just for the night. He falls head over heels and married a Pelesian princess while beachcombing in Tahiti. But when a dazzling trip to 90 opened his eyes to the fact he was more attracted to men than women, he was forced to continue his quest for his soulmate under the threat of danger. I bought this in Gaze the Word. God, it's chunky. I'm not getting this one anytime soon. Oh, actually. Oh, it's only 500 odd pages. I'm 27 chapters. But you learn from people's experiences. That's all I'll say. And I am excited to read that one. Handsome chap. Queer. LGBTQ writing from ancient times to yesterday. Edited by Frank Wine. Again, queer history. It's bad that I haven't read it though, isn't it? Since the dawn of literature, queer people have turned to writing to document their existence, to share great triumphs and deep despairs, to praise the virtues of their lover, extol their loneliness, and proclaim their lust. Oh, That's why I really want to pick this up. Maybe this is the kind of featuring writing by all these people. Maybe this is the kind of thing I could read, or I should read, like, not in one go, like a couple of stories at a time. Just pick it up when I feel like reading a story or two. Maybe that's the way to go about this one. Maybe I'll start that soon, actually. Oh, he says, count how many times. I should have done like a drink game. Take a shot how many times I want to. Actually, after my birthday, Saturday, we're not going to drink for a while, but it's fun. Bathhouse by P.J. Vernon. This is a bit steamy again. But it's not with the steamy one because it's on my hardback shelf. But I did read the first page. But I do know this is a scintillating thriller with an emotional punch. Look, I'm not a massive... What's pink underneath? I'm not a massive fan of thrillers. And I have seen most people that read this sort of feels it lacks towards the end. Like the end, the build-up isn't worth the ending. It doesn't quite pay off. And that puts a boy off, you know. It really does. I wish it didn't, but it did. But I do have a feeling I would fly through it, so... That's me being on the front cover, I did that. But, yeah, so I will, probably. The Garnkle by Stephen Rowley. Now, I know... Again, this one's had mixed reviews. Patrick, or Gay Uncle Patrick, Gut for short, has always loved his niece Maisie and nephew Grant. I don't know what this much is about. I don't actually want to read that. But I've heard it's a bit of a sweet story, and I hope it is. A clever subversive story about what makes a family. Again, this is, I think, you know, it's contemporary. I would fly through this one if I just got my act together and read these. Cleanness by Garth Greenwale, another Garth Greenwale book that I still haven't read. And look, it's only a short one. Sofia Bulgarian, A Landlocked City. Actually, do you know what? I did pick this one up. I might have read a few pages and put it down. Maybe I wasn't in the right mood. Which doesn't bode well for me to pick this up again. But maybe I will. A queer student's confession recalls his own first love. A strange reception evolves deeper. Again, I think it's a bit steamy. Steamy boy I am. Yes, Daddy, a novel by Jonathan Parks Ramage. Jonathan Keller moves to New York City with dreams of becoming a successful pirate, but for the first time he's living in a rundown sublet in Bushwick. I have a feeling... Yes, Daddy is an exploration of class, power dynamics, and nuance of victimhood and complicity. It burns with weight and clarity and offers hope that stories may be told to keep our healing. Oh. Yes, Daddy. Maybe the title misled me. A gut-churning, heart-wrenching blockbuster first novel. I think the title of this book, Yes, Daddy, misled me. I thought this was going to be a bit steamy. Oh, to-the-minute thriller about sex, violence, and power. Oh, another thriller. Listen, I'm supporting queer authors. That's what matters. Maybe we'll get to that one, maybe. This one I'm really, really excited for. Sang-Young Park, translated by... I know this is translated by because it's on the book long list. It's Anton Her. I should have just said it. Love in the Big City is a funny, transporting, surprising, poignant inkling debut of Sang-Young Park, one of Korea's most exciting young writers. I need more queer Korean books. I love Korea. I love my K-dramas. I love Jisoo and Blackpink. I'm so excited to read this one. It was very hard to find in hardback. It took 2 months to arrive. And I was going to read it straight away, but obviously I haven't. But I am incredibly excited for this one. Probably the most out of any of these, which I shouldn't pick a favourite. You don't pick favourites, but I've just done it. So there we go. The Last Shelf. This is the last lot, I promise. I went from like short videos to probably too long because I keep talking like that. But anyway, I don't know what this series is called overall, but Girls of Paper and Fire, Girls of Storm and Shadow, Girls of Fate and Fury by Natasha Nagan. I don't know much about these. I just know I've done that thing. I bought the whole series. I haven't read one of them, but I am excited for them. It's fantasy. I'm always excited to read more fantasy, Asian-inspired fantasy. To save the kingdom and their love, the Girls of Paper and Fire must find their way back to each other. Well, that was the last one. I wasn't meant to read from the last one. So yeah, I'm excited for these ones. What else have we got? Master of One by Jada Jones and Danny Bennett. Oh, it's signed. Oh, it's a Fairly edition. Now, I've heard really not great things about this one, actually. But somebody on Instagram who I really trust, it's one of their favourite books. And I've kept it literally just because I trust that person's opinion. Oh, it's got... Can you see those glittery red sprayed edges? This probably won't be one I get to soon. It's about Faye. That doesn't really do it for me. But it's not one I would unhaul. It still wants to be read. It's just, you know, it's at the bottom of the list. TJ Clune, The House in the Cerulean Sea. I know everyone loves this book. I read his other book. What was it called? That one that's come out after this one. Under the Whispering Door. I didn't like that. And it's put me off this. I know everyone, every time I mention I haven't read this one, someone's like, read it, you'll love it. And I probably will love it. I know that, but you know what this one's about. It's a mega popular book, but will I do it? Yeah, I just don't think it's going to be soon. Maybe if I need like a sweet little pick-me-up, it will do it. Because I've heard it's really, really sweet. Cries, War and Ironheart by Nina Valera. This is duology. I don't know much about it, to be honest. One mortal, one made, one mortal, one made, one mortal, one made, one loved, one betrayed. Yeah, actually, that sold me. Cries, War is a beautiful poem book that touches meaningfully on such complex themes as forbidden romance. Actually, they're beautiful covers. Can you see that? Yeah, okay, so... God, I should do these videos more often. It makes me actually want to read my books instead of just stare at them. Gear Breakers by Zoe Hannah Mikuta. This is sci-fi. Me and sci-fi don't get on that well. We went past praying to deities and started to build them instead. I've heard great things about this one. And I am excited for it. It's quite a recent buy as well. I can't say that. I can't say I'm not in sci-fi and buy them recently, can I? But yeah, no, I'm excited for that one. Hurts my wrist just to hold. The Pride of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This is on my queer shelf, and I think the main character's bisexual, or it's got some brilliant bisexual rep in. This is one I want to read, but it's going to be a long time. Look at the size. It's like thicker than my head, and I've got a big head. That's probably though, you all know what this one's about, and I don't know what this one's about, and I don't want to ruin it too much. A world divided, a kingdom without an heir, and an ancient enemy awakens. Ugh. Every time I read those, I'm like, yeah, that sounds good. Let's bump up the list. But if they're all bumped up the list is just the same. In the Ravenous Dark by A.M. Strickland. She loves a princess. She's bound to Aurora. She must betray them both. I've just done it again. In Thanopolis, magic is rare and closely controlled. These blessed or cursed with powers are put under constant guard, assigned to undead spirits who watch their every move. It's a fantasy novel. Sounds a bit, I'm not great with high fantasy, you know. I would love to love high fantasy more, but this, I don't think this is high fantasy, but... Oh, speaking of high fantasy. Black Leopard, Red Wolf, and Moon Witch, Spider King by Marlon James. God, look at the stunning sprayed edges on one of them. I'm really excited to read this. I heard it's brutal and it's complicated and... a lot. I heard it is really, really a lot. So check the trigger warnings for these. But I saw a video of Marlon James and he said he wanted to get out of the... He wanted to write these books and get away from the Euro-centred fantasy and have African-inspired fantasy. And I loved that. And that is what sold me. So I don't think I'm not put off by these at all. Just the high fantasy book, nothing else. Tracker is a hunter known throughout the 13 kingdoms as one who has a nose. And he always works alone. Yeah, no, I am really excited for these ones. The Dark Star trilogy says no one to come. Let's hope it's maybe not quite as chunky, so I get to it soon. Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell. Somebody on Instagram who I follow absolutely loves this book. I don't know if this is a one bed thing, you know, what's that trope called? They've got to share a bed, is it that? Or is it... Oh, they have to marry each other. You know, they don't want to. and then they fall in love, which, as much as I wish it wasn't true, is what I love to read. The Darkness Outside Us by Elliot Sharifa? I'm sorry if I said that wrong. Two Boys Alone in Space. I'm sold. A friend of mine really, really loves this. Somebody else just said it was like Apollo 13, Apollo 11. What's that film called? One of them. And if you read that, you sort of know what happens here. But no, not read it. Watched that, but I haven't watched that, so I don't know what happens. So again, no sci-fi, so I have been putting it off for a while. Even though my friend is like, you need to read that book. In Deep Waters by F.T. Lukens. Somebody, pirates, mermaids and pirates. Did somebody describe this as, or was it just pirates? A queer pirate story? That's all I need to know. That is all I need to know. And the second one has just come out, or it's just coming out. Do I read this one first though before I buy the second one? Have I already pre-ordered the second one? I don't know. I'm probably going to buy the second one soon. And Bonds of Brass, book 1 of the Blood Right trilogy by Emily Strutsky. Look, I'm actually... This is a space... Etienne's life was shattered when the merciless Empire invaded his world. He spent 7 years putting himself back together under its rule. A friend of mine on YouTube, whose name, Monique, Book Witch Reviews, who I'll tag down below, is sort of my, you know, I just love her. I just love her. She's a good friend of mine. But she loves this book. I don't know if she's read the second one, but I bought this on her recommendation. And I will read it. It's not, maybe this is a good start for sci-fi. Maybe it's not too... Oh, I just read the last page by accident. It's sort of a bit of a spoiler. But anyway. Yes, I will read that at some point. I know I've said that about all these books. I'm so sorry. Here are some books that haven't come out yet, and I'm very lucky to have been sent. So I'm going to mention them. First up, I think it's out on April 7th. We've got Justin Myers' The Fake Up. I'll be honest. His book before this one, The Magnificent Sons, I absolutely hate that book. But the publishers were kind enough to send me a finished copy. 2 X's, One Big Secret, Let the Games Begin. This is when they split up, but then they fall in love again. The only trouble is they broke up months ago and everyone was delighted for them. At first it was exciting sneaking around. So yeah, this sounds sweet and fun. So I am excited for this one. I'm going to read this one actually, probably this month, maybe, because it's out and I want to talk about it before it comes out. Time is a Mother by Ocean Vuong. This is his new poetry collection, which is out April 7th. Oh, same as that one. It's a good week for queer books, isn't it? This won't take me long at all. I'm probably going to read this one this month too. It's probably about the loss of his mother, though, which will be quite triggering, but he's actually... Yeah, I think it is LGBTQ. I looked on Goodreads, it is. Sedating Elaine. This one comes out May 5th. Just got sent to me. An exuberant dark comedy about love, grief, sex, guilt, and one woman's harebrained scheme to tranquilise her vicariously amorous girlfriend for a few days so that she might pay off her drug dealer, make soup, and finally get some peace and quiet. Should I just read that correctly? Frances fears she may never escape her relationship, so given no other choice, she makes the obvious decision. She will sedate Elaine. Akweke Emeze, you made a fall of death with your beauty. This is the proof cover. I don't know if the real cover's like this, but beautiful title, beautiful cover. It's been 5 years since the accident that killed the love of her life. A steamy encounter, rooftop party. Steamy. I love Akweke's other book. Oh look, that's probably fallen. What's that other book called? The Death of Vivek Oji. So I have high hopes for this. Oh, and I love Pet too. I haven't got Bitter yet, but I love Pet. So May 7th, that comes out. Typolo Blue by James Carhill. Look at this beautiful cover. I'm really excited for this one. A major league debut for 2022, June 9th. Oh, look at those end papers. I don't want to forward to myself. I'm taking a photo of Instagram. This is all about art and first love. The best novel I've read for ages. It's so beautifully written, not a false note in any sentence. I have high hopes for this one. I'm not going to lie to you. I really do have high hopes for this. Sometimes Love has its own script. If You Change Your Mind by Robbie Webber. Robbie reads on YouTube and Bookstagram. I was sent this one. It comes out in May in the US. But I do believe in the UK it is perfect. It's a perfect summer escape for fans of Becky Albertelli and Jenny Han, who wrote the All the Boys I Loved Before series. I'm really excited for this one. I'm ready for a summer romance. In live and in books. Yeah, I think it's June 9th in the UK. So I'm really excited for this one. Nettleback by Nat Reeve. This... Cypher Press. Read more queer books. Independent queer publisher. I cannot praise them enough. They've got some other books that I really actually need to read. I believe this is... Told through journal, entries and letters, Nettleback is a subversive and playful ride through the perils and joys of finding your place in the world, challenging myths about queerness, particularly transness, as a modern phenomenon. I thought this was a trans... I don't know if it's trans... It doesn't matter. I'm excited for it. And it could be one I pick up soon. This is out in June as well. I'm not sure of the actual date it's out. I could probably read the press release, but I'm going to do that. Oh, this sounds really different and interesting. So yeah. Nettleback by Nat Reeve, Cypher Press. Check out their website, honestly. If you're looking for some just out there, not out there, just some interesting queer books, which, if you're on this channel, my hope is that you're... Oh, I found 4 more. I know this video's gone a really long time, so I'm going to... 2 graphic novels, 2 mangas. Bloom, The Magic Fish, I Hear the Sunspot, There Are Things I Can't Tell You. I've only read 1 graphic novel. I'm excited for these 2. I'm so excited to get into mangas. I Hear the Sunspot. It's my new favourite book and I haven't even read it. I have not even read it, but I'm so excited to read those 2. If you have any more recommendations for mangas, let me know because, you know, queer mangas, I'm so excited for them. That's it. That's the last 4, I promise. So, there we go. They are all the queer books on my TBR. I should have counted them to see how many it was. Should I count them? Should I do that? Should I be brave? Okay. I'll be back. That was 95. I have 95 queer books on the TBR. Even I'd expect to be that many. But we're supporting queer authors. That's all that matters to me. And it turns out I've got books to last me for years now. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That's what YouTubers say. I'm trying to be that now. If you think I should read any of these soon, if you see your favourites, let me know. If you don't like them, don't let me know. Because I probably want to read them. I'll probably listen to you. But I hope it's okay that this video was longer. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want, or don't. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all soon. Bye.